Welcome to the Village Conversations podcast. My name is Refile Ramatlodin Ndlovu and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about gifts. How are we using our gifts? How are you using your gifts? We all know that we have different gifts that we have been given upon birth, and all of them are innate gifts that nobody can take away from us. But the question is, how are you using your gifts? Maybe the first question should be, do you know what your gifts are? And if you do know what your gifts are, how are you using the gifts that you have? Are you using them to serve? Are you using them for your own selfish ambitions? Or you just maybe don't know what your gifts are? I believe that every one of us has been given gifts here on earth, and we should always endeavor to use the gifts that we have been given by God in the right way. We should always be using our gifts either to serve if you're in ministry, and also if you're not in ministry, whatever it is that you're doing, if you are serving, it is actually ministry. Ministry is not only allocated or subscribed to a minister in the church, for instance, or a preacher of the day. Ministry is each and everything that we do in our lives, each and every act, each and every way that we serve our communities. Our communities could be our families, our friends, our family members, neighbors, whoever it is that you are serving. If you're a business owner, your ministry is in business. And what are you doing to serve your customers? Are you merely just chasing after sales? Or are you actually doing even more that you know that you should be doing? So that's what we'll be talking about today. And this was prompted by a passion conference or passion talk that we had about a week ago with these two beautiful ladies who are running their own businesses, and I got so inspired just listening to their stories on how they are actually going after the gifts that God gave them and serving as a result, using the gifts that they have. They are both business women. If you haven't checked out that video yet, it's a previous video actually that I uploaded, so have a look at that and listen in on their stories and what has brought them to where they are today, and how their passion has actually met their purpose. Passion meets purpose. That was the theme of the conference. So have a look at that and let me know. Do share what your feelings are. Do you know what your passion is? Do you know what you are gifted with? And do you know how to use those gifts that you have? Do share your stories with me. I love hearing these stories, and most of them are so inspirational. For instance, Pholosho was just explaining that she studied hospitality management, but as much as she loved cooking, she never really thought that she would be the one doing the dirty work, like the hard work in the kitchen, actually cooking and producing recipes and putting meal plans together and all of that. But as a result, so she went ahead and pursued a career in management to a point where she even got a job in Dubai, and only to find that actually God wanted her to flourish whilst getting her hands dirty, which is cooking, being in the kitchen, being burnt, putting together recipes, and that is where her gift was. And up until that moment when she realized that, that's actually when things started happening for her. This is like a beautiful testimony of how God works, and how when you listen in on what He says you should be doing, things just come together. You don't even have to figure things out anymore. We like figuring things out, and so you don't even have to figure things out anymore. You just proceed and just continue step by step, and you are led basically because you are doing something that is according to your gift, and that is according to your God ordained purpose here on earth. So do tune into that video and have a listen if you haven't already. And the other story was Bontle's story, how it all started with her starting a shoe line, girls and guys, a shoe line, a whole shoe line, from Pampierstad to the world with pink bottoms. Who would imagine? Her inspiration came from a generation of women that raised her, that were always in high heels and were always taking bold and courageous steps in whatever, that life would be throwing at them. And as a result, she then went back to what she called her love. She's a lover of fashion, she's a lover of shoes, of high heel shoes. And this is where her journey has brought her. Now she owns Bontle footwear and she is flourishing, having a good time, being led by God, So reflect on those things, reflect on these stories, and reflect on the need and the importance of actually listening in when you have to listen in. And also, after listening in, actually doing things that you were supposed to be doing. For instance, I always say this, you can't have faith and be fearful at the same time. Most times we say we have faith. Yes, we do have faith, but our faith is superseded by the fear that we have in ourselves. The fear that creeps up when we have to take that bold step into doing something, the fear that comes when you have something to share, and that fear of insecurities, the fear of not being enough, the fear that maybe I'm not so well spoken, the fear that they might not like what I'm about to say, or maybe just what I'm about to say is not that important. So we go through all of these emotions and we then neglect the voice, that soothing, silent voice that has told us, my child, go and do this, and I will guide you, I will be leading you. We forget that God is actually saying He is with us every step of the way. And yes, just because He is with you, that does not mean that you won't be overcome with nerves and be overwhelmed sometimes, but that overwhelming feeling and the nerves hit differently when you know that you're not walking the journey alone, when you know that you are in this with a higher power that is stronger than anything in this world. So what are your gifts? What are you gifted in? What is your purpose in life? What are you working towards, fulfilling that purpose in your life? What is it that you are doing? And if you don't know where to start, also, have you sought help? There's coaches out there who will help you streamline your life and also bring you back to a place of back to yourself, to say, okay, and what is it that I like, what is it that drives me out of bed every morning, and just to reconnect with the self, to enable you and also to empower you to actually start taking those bold steps into being what you were actually supposed to be. And also, what books are you reading? What are you surrounding yourself with? What are you listening to? Are you listening to podcasts? Are you listening to the radio? The kinds of things that we consume, the media that we consume actually is a big contributing factor to how we feel each and every day, to how we feel each and every moment, and to how we perceive ourselves as human beings. So, like social media, you find that you go on social media and people are posting pitch perfect lives, and you wonder, oh my goodness, I went to school with this person. How is it that they have achieved so much, and I'm still here struggling to do this and that, but we don't know. People show us what they want to show us, and they show us what they want to be seen as, So be true to yourself, and if you need a detox from social media, take it. It is for your own good health and your mental well-being. Take detoxes from social media and just surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with things that amplify you, and surround yourself with things that will push you to step out courageously with boldness. And like Bontle Reed's hashtag goes, take a beautiful step, a powerful step, that is. Take a powerful step. And taking a powerful step does not mean that you have to have things figured out. It does not mean that you have to have things all figured out or know what the next step might be. But if you take that powerful step, that beautiful, bold step in faith, doing your part, I'm telling you, God will deliver on his promises like he always does. At his own time, at the right time, which is mostly important. His timing is always perfect. So yeah, do that and let's see how it goes. If you need more inspiration, get some readings and also listen to some podcasts, and yeah, surround yourself with positivity. On social media, follow people who are feeding into the energy that you need in your life. Follow people that inspire you and actually drive you to doing the things that you know you need to do. Don't just follow people for clout, and don't just be posting things for clout, and be intentional about the things that you're doing. And let's see how far that takes you. So yeah.